and welcome back to my channel. My name is Corin, also known as the Kitten Choreographer. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm a teen with a passion for animal rescue, and in particular, kitten rescue. So let's talk about one of my least favorite things when it comes to fostering orphaned neonatal kittens, and that is nighttime feedings. Neonatal kittens need to be fed every 2 to 5 hours depending on their age, and this includes overnight. You can't just not feed them because it's nighttime. You do have to feed them overnight as well. And this is a really daunting part of kitten rescue. I know there's a lot of people that are hesitant about the nighttime feedings, but it's actually pretty manageable once you get used to it. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing 6 tips to help make your nighttime feedings easier on you. These tips will hopefully make sure you get the most amount of sleep possible and are up for the least amount of time with the kittens, so you can fall right back to sleep and, try to have a good night's sleep, even though you're getting up with the kittens. I currently have 2 5-day-olds, or 5, 6, I'm not exactly sure, I'm horrible at counting. But I have 2 kittens who are young enough that they have not even opened their eyes yet. These guys are orphans, and they are currently being fed every 3 hours overnight and every 2 hours during the day. It's recommended that you feed kittens every 2 hours, but for healthy kittens like that, I can stretch it to every 3 because it's the difference between waking up 5 times in the middle of the night and 3 times in the middle of the night. So as long as my kittens are doing well, I can usually be like, okay, let's go every 3 hours. And as long as they're not losing weight, as long as they're still, appearing healthy, then it's okay to do that. That wasn't one of my tips, but maybe it should have been. I also have 2 2-week-olds. You can see they're older, their eyes are open, and I feed these guys every 4 hours during the day and every 6 hours at night. So right now I'm getting up 3 times in the middle of the night. The first time I feed just the little babies. Second time I feed the big-ish, they're only like 300 grams, but they're bigger than the little babies. I feed them and the little babies the second time, and then the third time I just feed the little babies again. And I sleep from about 10 to 10, but let's go ahead and get started on these tips because I've rambled for a while, but I also had to show you the kittens, so let's get started. Tip number 1 is to mix up your formula before bed. This makes nighttime feedings so much quicker and easier if you're not having to, grab the powdered formula and the water and then mix it up and then pour it into a bottle or into a cup for a syringe. It's so much easier to just pour it into a cup or bottle beforehand, put it in the fridge, and then when you get up, pull it out, microwave it real quick, and then feed it to them. That's just a quick little tip that you may have figured out already, but if not, there you go. Number 2 is to set all your alarms before bed. And this just means set all of your alarms for the night before bed so that you don't have to worry about setting alarms in the middle of the night. So that means, don't wake up at 1 a.m. and not have your 4 a.m. alarm set too, so that you have to set it at 1 a.m. Because you could forget, and that's just another thing to worry about, and you just want to worry about as little as possible during these nighttime feedings. Oh, Vidya, do we have a big girl? We have a big girl. This is Vidya. I got her when she was 2 weeks old, but look at her now. She's so big. She's going to go to a new foster home soon because she's alone right now. Oh, you purry. You're so cute. Hi. Okay, where was I? And along with this tip, I'm just going to say go ahead and prepare anything that you need to do before bed. So tip number 3 I have learned from trial and error, and that is get up right when you hear your alarm, don't snooze. So telling on myself here a bit, I used to have a problem where I would snooze the alarm like 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night before even getting up. And this is a problem, for me at least, because I would accidentally miss feedings because I would snooze it, and then accidentally click the off button instead of the snooze button. And I would just turn my alarm off in my sleep, not really thinking about it, not understanding while I'm sleeping the importance of getting up, because it's really hard when you're so tired. That's only happened a few times before I learned that it's best to just get up right away because you won't have a big chance of falling back asleep. This means you won't miss your feeding. And you'll also get back to deep sleep faster because you can go right back to sleep and then wake up 10 minutes later and then go back to sleep and then wake up 10 minutes later, but you're not actually getting into that deep sleep. So if you just get up right when you hear your alarm, instead of prolonging that for, 20 or 30 minutes, you're feeding your kittens on time, you're making sure they get fed, and then you're going back and you're getting back to sleep faster. I find I'm less tired during the day after not snoozing. too, because I get back to sleep faster. So tip number 4 is to be as quick as possible. You want to be quick so you don't fully wake up. You're kind of like a half-awake zombie that only knows how to feed kittens and then go right back to sleep. Sometimes I don't even fully remember my nighttime feedings, but I see that I've done them because the cup is in the sink empty. So I usually remember them, but sometimes my memory is a little bit fuzzy. But when you don't fully wake up, it makes falling asleep a lot easier. Over my time fostering, I have perfected it so that feeding kittens only takes like 5 minutes and then I can go right back to sleep. I am kind of proud of this, but I get back in bed before my bed has even fully cooled all the way off from me being in it. So like my pillow will still be kind of warm, my bed will still be warm. And that's nice in the winter, especially because it's like, oh, warm, cozy bed, okay. Number 5 is a hard one, and that's don't spend a lot of your time cuddling kittens. This sounds mean, it sounds really mean, but you want to get back to sleep as fast as possible, like I mentioned, and that's so you can sleep the most and fall back asleep the quickest. Cuddling kittens during the nighttime takes away precious sleep time, so save your cuddles for the day. Cuddle as much as you want during the day, but not during the night. The most I'll do is like a quick kiss after feeding and then back in the incubator or back in the tub. So my last tip, number 6, is just figure out what works best for you. You don't have to do something exactly the way it's told by someone else. Figure out what works best for you and go with it. For example, if you need 3 alarms to wake up, you're just gonna sleep through the first one. Set 3 alarms like 1 minute apart. This doesn't work for me because I accidentally turn off the alarms and never get up. But if that's what you need, then that's what you need. You don't have to follow these tips exactly. It's very much just what works for you is what's best, because it will make sure the kittens get fed and all of that good stuff. So for my closing notes, I just want to mention that don't beat yourself up if you miss a feeding. Like, we've all missed feedings here and there. Of course, you don't want to be doing this regularly, but if you accidentally sleep through one, the kittens are going to be okay. If you find you're doing this on a regular basis, you might not be the best for bottle feeding, but if it only happens every once in a while, when you're so sleep deprived, especially after like weeks of getting up already, then it's okay. Your kittens, they're okay. They forgive you. They're okay. Just giving that reminder because I know that I need it sometimes. I haven't missed a feeding in a long time. But when I did miss feedings, I would feel so guilty about it. So here's your reminder. Just don't feel guilty. It's okay. It's okay. I did kind of think that I might film part of this video in the middle of the night. And thinking of how exhausted I already am in the evening from getting up, I'm like, no. No thank you. So I'm not going to be doing that. And I just filmed all of this now before I go to bed. So that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more kitten-related content. I upload on Sundays and on Wednesdays if I can, and if I... Video just knocked something over. I upload on Sundays and on Wednesdays if I can, and if I can't, then I upload whenever I am able to. Also, please make sure to leave any thoughts or questions that you have down in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching again, and goodbye!